thanks for tuning in to another great episode. Today is just going to be a status update, so stay tuned to find out what that's about. Keep watching. So basically today in this video we are just going to discuss the BMW drift car. Basically I purchased it for about $300. It had the EWS pass lock system issue where you turn the key, it wouldn't give it no ignition, wouldn't crank the vehicle, no spark. You know, all that stuff with the typical security system. So basically the guy I bought it from, he had already did a ton of work to the car, and he actually had somebody else look at it, and they came in there and pulled some wires, whacked it up and all that. Well, I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to tackle it, see if I can fix it, get it going, get it started and all that. So I went ahead and got the car, $300. I was like, couldn't pass that up for a complete car. So basically when I got it here, I looked into it and changed out a couple of things for the EWS security system. Well, it still didn't fix it. Because it was a 96, the whole cross the two wires and jump the EWS module and all that to get it to run, you couldn't do that. That's like 95 and under. Would work real easy, but this one was EWS 2 and 3. There was a lot more security features in that car. So I was like, well, I'll just send the DME out to get the security system flash from it. So when you turn the key, regardless of all that other stuff, it would give it ignition, fuel, and all that, and crank. It wouldn't be a big deal. So I looked and researched, and I couldn't find anybody to touch this 96 model 325 IT, or 318 Ti, sorry. I finally found this guy in Canada, so I sent the DME up to him, and he had it for like a month and a half. I mean, it was a while before he could get it back to me. So when I finally got it back, I had also did with the key that has the chip. There's a thing you can buy for your laptop that you stick the key in and you hook up the EWS2 module to it and you sync them together. So when the key talks, it talks to that little box. So I did that. So I knew that was good. The only other big thing about it was the DMA, but then there's other sensors that take place. Camshaft, crank, you know, all this. And the guy before that I got it from said he had already changed all that, so I really didn't look into it. So when I got the computer back, I was like, well, this would be the fix for it. It'll run, then I can start throwing money at it. I mean, I didn't even get the title changed to my name because it wasn't gonna, if I couldn't get it running, it wasn't drivable, then it wasn't no use throwing a bunch of money at it unless I was going to engine swap it. And I really didn't want to spend money on an engine swap on a car like that. I would rather spend it on a classic if I'm going to have to go that route. So I got the computer in, put it in, turned it, same thing. Nothing, it wouldn't work. It would just crank. I'd get no ignition, no power, and all that. And I didn't have the OBD2 connector thing to read codes for the BMW because it's a big round pin connector that you got to have. It's not like the regular OBD2 port because I already tried it and it wouldn't read it. So I was like, well, man, I'm not going to throw any more money at buying sensors and all this just to, because the next thing was like the crank sensor, cam sensor, and they wasn't cheap. Even you can't really buy them used, so they was not cheap even on eBay. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend any more money on this, throw all that in there and it's still not fix it, or you know, then maybe the transmission don't work. I'm just taking my word for it from the guy I bought it from. So I basically just relisted it on a couple of forums and sold it for basically what I paid for it, and also sending the tuner off to get flashed. So I didn't lose any money, but that is pretty much it for Project Drift Car BMW. The other thing about it was I was gonna sell the lifted truck and then use funding from it to pay some stuff off that I'd bought for the General, and also use some of that funding to throw into the drift car to make it, you know, fun. But I was going back and forth on selling this truck, but I think I'm going to go back to my original plan of selling this truck. I've put a lot into it. I mean, a lot of money tied into this thing. So I want to try to get a good price out of it, but I don't need four-wheel drive anymore, and I don't really want a lifted truck anymore because I'd be daily driving this to work, and it's a beat down with the way the wind and stuff's going after I lifted this thing so high. And I don't know, it's just not a fun commute anymore. Which I've got the General to where I can daily drive it, no problems at all. It's just if I want to do some major upgrades to the General, like completely take the interior out, I don't want to have to try to throw it all back together in one day, you know what I mean. I want to try to be able to leave it apart, work on it slowly, in depth, in detail, and I want to have a perfectly good daily driver to go along. I want them both to be daily drivers, but so basically what I kind of want to get is a single cab around the same year as this truck, just not four-wheel drive, because they really look good lowered, and the 5.3 liter, you know, around 2000 to 2006 is what I'm looking for. They have so many upgrades for that 5.3 liter that you can do, you know. And then I want a short wide, I don't want another long bed, I want a short wide single cab, really, because I mean, there's a lot of extended cabs out there that I could buy, but I really would like a single cab, and single cabs are really kind of hard to find in those years with the 5.3 liter. Most of them have the 6s, the 4.3. But they're out there. It's just they're harder to find and they're more expensive. The V6 one's cheap. You know, you can get them $2,000 now because they got over 200,000 miles. But I don't want to go that route and have to do another engine swap like we did the General, because you already seen that beat down. But yeah, that's where we're at. I've basically listed the lifted truck for sale. Hopefully I can get more out of it than what I put in it, but I doubt it because, you know, it is a 2002. You know, if all else fails and I can't seem to sell it, because I really need some cash too to do some more flow with some more upgrades. You know, so what I was going to do, if I sell this at the number that I want, I'm going to use some of the money to buy that other truck that I want, and then use the rest of the money to pay off some stuff, and then get some more stuff for the new truck for upgrades. But if all else fails and I can't get this thing to sell like I want to, then I don't know, we might have to go back. I was talking to Terry about this, and it is the thing, lowering this sucker down, take all the four-wheel drive stuff off of it, and then you basically have a not slammed, but a lowered four-wheel drive that you can spin all four tires with. You know, it's rare to find them on YouTube. I dug around, but it is a thing. Believe it or not, most people say you'll run a four-wheel drive by doing that, and why would you? Which, you know, I understand. I've been there. I've did the four-wheel drive thing for years. I mean, I'm from Oklahoma. We're redneck. Come on now. But if I have to go that route because I can't, you know, what I'll do is just start parting things off of this truck and sell it. You know, like the big rims and tires. the lift kit. The lift kit alone is super expensive. Those 6.5-inch lift kits for these trucks, they are not cheap. Over $1,000, and that's even getting it on sale. And of course, I can sell the roof rack with all the lighting and all that. I'll keep the toolbox, of course, because it's low profile. But I don't know, might sell it and just do a bed cover, because that really looks good for the lowered trucks, and then do like an in-bed toolbox. And then of course I would take the steps off and sell those, but those, you probably can't get but $30 out of them with the way how cheap those are nowadays. But other than that, I mean, that's where I'm at. And I kind of want to get a truck too that doesn't have the textured paint, because basically this textured paint is good for the off-roading. I kind of want something I can get shiny and wax up and all that, especially being that the General is texture coated too. That's just, I'm kind of back and forth on the fence about it. So basically it'll just come boil down to if I can get somebody to get it for the right price. You know how money talks. That's pretty much where we're at on that. This week, this is Friday today. I don't know if I'll get this video uploaded today. I'll try, or tonight. If not, I'm going to start on some stuff this weekend. Make sure and stay tuned for those videos. For one, the next video sneak peek will be the shorty starter. Because the factory one on here with the headers is really starting to get heated up, making it harder to start. So that's where we're at. Also, I turned 40 the other day. Had a big birthday. That's why we had a little bit of slow spell on the videos, because there was a lot going on this past week and a half. So yeah, also we might do some stuff to the wife's car too. The Honda. She basically picked up a 2019 Honda. Imagine that. I'm trying to get these used trucks. She gets a brand new one. But yeah, might do some upgrades on it to come to the channel. I don't know yet, because it's brand new, it's got warranty, all that. I don't want to go messing with too much stuff. But that's basically the gas car to travel for a long ways for gas. So yeah, that's about it for probably this update. I got a complete interior job to do on the General, which I said on my last video, which is going to take a little bit. So that's why if I'm in the process of selling this and somebody picks it up, I don't want to have the General too tore apart, because I'm going to have to start driving it till I find that single cab truck I'm talking about. So yep, that's where we're at. It's definitely been super hot here in the hundreds. So a lot of this stuff I've been trying to do in the garage when the sun goes down, just because it's a little bit cooler. Not much. As you can see here in the garage, it's still about 98 degrees. Hopefully that's focusing. So it's still pretty toasty in here. Even with it being, you can see it's 9:33 right now. So, yeah. Which is typical Texas. Actually, this summer hasn't been too bad with the way it normally has been. So, anyway, enough rambling on. This is just an updated video, no content on this one. Thanks for still watching. If you made it this far, make sure and subscribe if it's your first time. Give it a thumbs up. And until next time, keep it simple, keep it sweet.